Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm gonna present a theory I have. This is mainly for my friends. I'll be sending it to them, but I'm also posting it here because I need the world to know what I think. Alright, let's begin. So, my French teacher is a god. I'm not kidding. So here's the background. This is why I believe that this is. She moves around a lot. You know, she doesn't stay in one place for too long. She's taught all over the world. She was born in Saugy, France, which is a small town, and thus unverifiable unless visited. It has a page, but it would be very difficult to verify whether or not she was actually born there unless it was traveled to. So she claims this, in addition to this, she claims she has a sister, but she never actually shows my class a picture. Why is this? This is really confusing, especially because we have continuously asked her, and she claims that she has shown us, but somehow we all forget. Thus, she has superpowers. After college, she taught in China, she taught in Senegal, and another place before coming to the United States, and she's currently teaching at our high school. She's actually leaving this year. She has only been at our school for 5 years, which is actually not a short time at all. But this further raises the question, how old is she? She looks very young. She has very fair skin. It's shocking, to say the least. Why? Well, I end with 3 questions. Why come here? Why move around so much? Those two are connected. What is she hiding? All right, so let's get into it. Why our school? So there's not good pay. The events that they have are not very exciting. There's nothing really monumental that happens at the school, and it's overall not a very attractive building. In fact, they're doing renovations this year to make it more appealing. Rooftop access. So, I did some deep diving. So, there are Normandy roots in French mythology, and Norman mythology, they have coastal spirits. We are on a coast. Does this mean that she's drawing power from the outdoors, or is she speaking to the universe? Saugy, France. All right, so this was never colonized. It's an original French settlement in the 19th and 17th centuries. The land and the Chateau Vert in Saugy were owned by prominent French nobles, such as Pierre Coton, who was the captain to Queen Marguerite de Valois in 1610, and later Henri de Forcy, an advisor to the French king. And we all know what happened in France. Bastille Day and all that. In the 18th century, the seigneurie was owned by noble French families, like the Camus de Pontcarré and the Marquis de Travanet, before the French Revolution. So this is very interesting because the fact that it's really just French nobles in this area present the question, or the idea of money and power, and fae and gods love having offerings and wealth. Yeah. So, the modern administration prior to 1968, Saugy was part of the former Seine-et-Oise department before becoming part of the Val d'Oise Thouars region. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's okay because I'm not French. Thus, it's the perfect place to birth a god. So how could Madame be a god, though? it was not like a virgin birth. She has a mother and a father. Nuh-uh. So here's my proof. How do we know she has a mother and a father? She tells us stories about them. So, I mean, we could take her word for it. But fae and gods are known to be magical storytellers with great charisma that make stories sound very realistic. An example of this, the story of her friend's friend who cheated on her boyfriend with a girl, told her boyfriend, and had an open polyamorous relationship with them three. Then the man falls in love with another guy, but has children with the original girlfriend, and the other man has kids with the other woman, and it's a whole thing, and it went into divorce, and it's all very far-fetched. Her house. She says that this is her mother's house. However, she could be lying. Maybe she never grew up in a house at all. Maybe she was raised in the woods. This would explain her vast worldly knowledge and her lack of enjoyment with social gatherings. Something she often says is, "It is boring, I see no point." What else has no point, you ask? The universe. It's an expansive space. No point only means she has never received a point in her entire life. She is French Jesus, here to fulfill her own prophecy. To be apathetic. She's very apathetic. This can suggest omniscience, and a kind of grace that comes with being careless, but this could also just be because she's French. French people, mort theory. All right. I'm gonna need you to quickly watch the 30-part series that is the Theorizer on YouTube's masterpiece. Follow him on Patreon. He is fucking incredible. I don't know if I can swear here, but oh my god. I have never gone back. I need you, in order to understand the context of this theory, you need to know the context behind more theory. It's very, very important. Now go do that before I click to the next slide. All right. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want to go into this blind, that's what you're doing right now. All right. Why Madame is the leader of feet. What is feet? Clearly you didn't watch the video. A French organization that exterminates extraterrestrials. They are collecting victims. What are French students? Victims! Thus, why does she travel so much? She's collecting more victims in order to stop the mortification of mankind before it starts by indoctrinating children to become French speakers and thus allies with the Feet organization and thus undesirable for Mort to transform into the animal kingdom he's going to create and turn the world into. Finally, what is she hiding? She is the heart of Feet. That's what she's hiding. Mort and Madame will be in the final battle to determine if mankind will survive or animals will take over the planet, because the topic of partage de la planète was never about climate change. It was always about saving ourselves from becoming Mort's subservience. Save yourself before you become a victim too. Do what you can. Don't take I be French.